Hey everybody, welcome to Trend Rebel. I'm going to set up a chart. Had a request to set up a triple the way I use them, so I thought maybe the best way to do it would be to start from scratch and just show you how to do it. So I basically open up a new tab on TradingView, create new layout, and let that pop up. So this thing automatically popped up with SPY, and it gave me a little volume indicator here. We go ahead and throw that in the trash. We're in our 4 hour, which is great. I also got to take my track wheel over here and just expand it a little bit so that I can move the chart around, which took it off of auto. You can also expand on the bottom here by using your middle of the mouse scroll wheel on the bottom to go left and right to expand it and contract it this way, and then you can expand it and contract it this way here. Then I'm going to go ahead and pop in my indicators. So I'm going to go over to pull up my daily Trend Rebel pivots, my monthly Trend Rebel pivots, my high-low, and my SMAs. So we give those all a second to load up, and then I'm going to set them for this time frame. So the first thing I'm going to do is the November 22nd Trend Rebel pivots for today. These are actually older, so I'm going to actually, no, that's today's date. Yes, that is today's date, sorry. So I'm going to go to the settings. Sorry, I'll go back up here to the settings right here. Click on that. I'm going to see what I want to do. The line color is fine. I don't like the pivots crowding there a little bit, so I'm going to offset them a little bit, maybe even a little bit more. Let's see what that looks like. And I just change the number, and then I click anywhere in the blank screen here so that it can give it a second to move. They are not moving. Don't know why. Let those go for a second. And the label color is fine. I like it with the lines connecting to the pivots like this. You can also do draw lines, which means that instead of the little line here, you're going to see in a second the lines go all the way across the screen. So depending on your preference, you can do one or the other. Again, I like these little lines this way. You can also offset these indicators to the other side. That offset, see right there. So depending on where you're going, and you'll find, well, I have found when I use the indicators that I tend to center my price action. So the price, I tend to put it closer to the center of the screen, meaning here-ish, instead of all the way tight here. I don't need that much history to understand trend because I have it all written in all these indicators. Show key pivot emoji, that's clicked, that's no problem. So basically, I think I'm all set on this particular indicator. The November, this would be my monthly, same thing. I'm going to offset it a little bit more than the other one. And then I like to leave everything as it is here and call that a day. Oops, I didn't want those on that side, so I got to bring those back to the inside. All right, and for some reason they're not offsetting. I don't know why, but I'm going to just scroll in a little bit because the biggest and hardest one to do is the SMA indicator right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the settings. So on my 4 hour chart, I like to plot the 4 hour SMAs, and here they are, so that I can see them better. You may want to plot other ones on here, and we're going to get into that in a quick second. But that's the basic one I want to do. The other thing I want to do is I want to make sure, click on style, I want to go all the way to the bottom here, and I want to take the values out of status line. I have it as a rule in all my charting, but in case yours is cluttered and the line over here by the indicator has all zeros and ones that goes all the way across, just click on that values and status line, turn that off, and you don't have to worry about that anymore. So back over here to inputs. I'm going to leave this the way it was shipped over because that's the settings I like, which is why I standardized them. And we're good to go. And then I'm just going to double check on the high-low indicator here. And now here's got offsets too. So these are my standard offsets for these as well. It basically pushes things all around so that they're not crowded. Let me just hit OK on this, and I'll zoom in a little bit so that you guys can get an understanding of what I mean. So you'll notice that I have, the high is over here, yesterday's high is here. So I have them scattered left and right of the center line so that we can kind of fit all this data into one. Now the idea, don't forget, is price action is up here, and we want to make sure that our SMAs are going through key pivots where that's happening. So right here you see a 4-hour 50 that went through this 592, which was actually yesterday over here, or mid-evening. We have the 4-hour 9, which is coming up. On this 592 pivot, we're going to see a bump from that when that finally gets there. It also went through the daily 9 today, so that's why we're pushing higher right now. But that's the gist of these indicators here. Now, the question was to how do I turn this into a 3 chart? So first thing I'm going to do is going to go over here to this layout setup. And now that I've set all these things up here, they should transcribe all the way over to the other ones. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the number 3, third one down. And this is the particular layout I like right here. It gives me all 3 charts in one. I do like my 4-hour chart bigger than my little one. So this little center line here, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to roll it over here like that. So I've got a nice big 4-hour time frame there. And you can see everything that you need to see there. Then on this one here, they're all going to be 4 hours for right now because I just changed it to 3 screens. So on this one here, on the top here, I'm going to make that a 1-minute chart because I do like to scalp a lot. So putting it at 1 minute. I also happen to scalp with, and again, so when I click anywhere in this chart, you'll see the frame, the blue frame around here. That's the chart I'm working with. So I didn't touch anything up here. It's going to affect this chart. Before, I clicked on the black space in this frame. That's the chart I'm working with. Anything I change on here is going to do that. So I have 1 minute. And again, I don't like candles on my 1 minute. I'm old school, like lines. So I'm going to change that to lines. My indicators transcribed over. All the offsets are made for a 4-hour though, so they're all over the place. But that's okay because we can bring this all in like this a little bit. And we have to scroll on the scale line as well as the timeline in order to get to where we want, or you can do it in the field so that you can get kind of a feel for how you want it. So this is roughly how I want it, and you see kind of everything kind of fell into place here from the SMA standpoint. But now I want to change my SMAs on the 1 minute to give myself some SMAs that will support showing some breakouts and stuff like that. So I want to plot on my 1 minute chart. I want to plot my 5 minute. I don't care about my 4-hour on this chart at all. I do want to see the lines, but I don't want to. I do want to see the indicator to show where it is, but I do not care about plotting it on a 1 minute. So all I plot here is the 5 minute on a 1 minute plot line there. So as you can see, I now have the 5 minute plotted on my 1 minute chart. So you can see some supports coming up in here. We've got a 5 minute 9 coming right up to the monthly support here. That's going to be nice to see when that breaks through. It looks like if you go back in history here, if you follow this line over, it looks like it was almost rejected here, and that's what we've been fighting. Now I'm going to go and set this chart here. Again, this is still 4-hour. I click in an empty place in the field here. It highlights the chart. Now I can go up here and change the time frame. I'm going to make this one a 5 minute, which is helpful for entries and day trading and stuff like that. I'm going to leave it in candles because I do like candles on my 5 minute. I am going to squish this up a little bit. So all I'm doing right now is using the scroll wheel on the mouse to bring it in, and then I'm going to actually expand a little bit so I can see what the action looks like. And that's roughly how I like it, but you can see that my pivots are off the screen. So all I have to do for those is move them. By doing this, I go into, that was a monthly pivot, I go into here, into settings, and I'm going to bring that back in to 5. Let's see how that goes. So this pink line here should condense, and you saw the pivot came flying back in. So now we're good. Now it's in my frame of view. I'm just going to kick it out once because I'm a little anal and I want to see that go off that W there. So I hate clutter, and we have a lot of tools here, and it can be cluttering. So that's why we have all these offsets so that we can make things look pretty. Now I'm going to go to my SMAs here, and again, this carried over from the settings from the 4-hour. I'm going to turn off my 4-hour plot. I am going to add in, this is a 5 minute chart, I'm going to add in my 30 minute plot, okay? So now, if I click on that, you'll see I have my 30 minute 9 here rising up through. I can watch my 30 minute breach my 5 minute pivots on here and watch the time frame there. So this is my general setup right here. The one thing you may want to do here is you may want to name it. So you can name it, banana setup, and click on save. Oh, we forgot the banana. Where's the banana? Is there a banana in here? There's got to be a banana in here. Come on, where's my banana? There it is. There, banana setup. All right, so now you got banana setup. You can go change your name, whatever you want to do here. Autosave is fine. Sharing, which means that any chart you see of mine that you guys like, let me know. I can share it with you. I can copy paste you a link, and you can import it into yours, save it as your own, and all of that fun stuff. And that's it. One other thing, you want to go back to this little screen layout setup. What we want to do is, if you can do things a couple different ways. If you want to open up a chart like this for each and every ticker, you can do that. If you want to use one chart, have it set up, and then just click between tickers, you can do that as well. So the one thing I like to do is I like to make sure that I click on the symbol button. What that will do is sync the symbol between all three charts. So we won't have to change the ticker in all three. If we change it in one, it changes in all of them. We do not want the intervals the same. That's a time frame. You can have your crosshairs go. It, to me, is visually annoying. You see things moving in places you're not trying to look. Same thing with the time. We do not want these all to be the same hour chart. We want them to be different. And the date range doesn't matter, so we leave that alone. That's it. There's your general setup of a 3-panel chart for one ticker. I hope that was informative and gets you on your way. Thank you.